Alright, so those who haven't seen this deck when we've played it in the past, what the heck does Temur Finale mean? So, Finale in the deck name refers to this card, Finale of Devastation, which gets a creature that costs X or less from our graveyard or deck and puts it into play. And this is a combo deck that combos Finale of Devastation with Storm Conduit. So how the combo works is, if you have 6 mana, so if you can cast Finale with X is 4 or more, and you down tick Storm Conduit, keeping him in play before you cast it, how it works is, when you cast the Finale with X is 4, a copy will happen from Ral, which will then deal a damage to the opponent. Then the copied Finale resolves and gets Naru, Master Wizard, out of our deck or graveyard. Naru comes into play, and there's still the original Finale on the stack, and Naru copies the Finale again, which causes Ral to deal a damage. Then this new copied Finale goes and finds Mirror Image, and Mirror Image comes into play, copies Naru. Because of the legendary rule, Naru goes to the graveyard, and then this Mirror Image Naru copies Finale again. Now, that new copied Finale deals a damage with Ral and keeps going through. So it's like 4 or 5 clicks per 1 point of damage, but you deal an infinite amount of damage eventually. Now, past that, we just got done playing that green-black Citadel deck where we talked about, like, what does your average card quality look like in your deck? And if you look at the rest of what this deck is doing, the average card quality as a whole is pretty reasonable. We've got things like Thorn Lieutenant, and Jadelight Ranger, and Paradise Druid, and Lightning Strikes, and Lava Coil. So we've got a lot of cards in this deck that are constructed playable in general, that also kind of fit into this combo shell for us. Let's go ahead and dive on into some matches here. It's like a PhD in stack manipulation. One of the other things that's kind of sweet with the Mirror Image is, like, if we have, say, Biogenic Ooze in play, you can grab Mirror Image, and double Biogenic Ooze overpowers people very quickly. Alright, I know I just got done saying nice things about Past Jeff, but Past Jeff forgot to restock the fridge and freezer down here, so he's kind of rude. Future Jeff is gonna... Present Jeff is making a note for future Jeff to do it. This is fine. Not amazing, but fine. Has Lightning Strike for an early aggression. I take back all the nice things I said about Past Jeff earlier, because he forgot to fill the fridge. Oh, I'm actually playing on the Ladder Scholar, so if you want us to add a Rekindling Phoenix, let me know what you think we'd like to cut for it. That card could maybe be okay. Let's get that dead. Right on time, Paradise Druid. Welcome to the party. This is probably okay. Is there no space in this deck for Expansion? I don't think there are, Bad Taker, because to feasibly combo Expansion Explosion with Ral, you need 4 copies of it, which is a lot of copies. And that's another card that doesn't do anything early, so it's just like clunky and like leaves you dead against aggro decks. That card's also not great against Narset or 3-mana Teferi. I think I'm gonna bottom this. I just want to jam 5s next turn. I'd like to kind of push myself towards the Finale to maybe be able to combo them, or a removal spell to keep the zombie army in check.
Well, that was unpleasant. Storms are like a symphony, and I am a great conductor.
I think I Bio Ooze here, because this will be a 3/3. So I can, like, block this next turn guaranteed. Well, we can still block it, but it's much bigger. Yep.
When a storm sea washes the dead ashore, super gross and not my fault.
You prefer green-red Sarkhan or green-red mid-range for the top 8. The SC tournament will with 2. One with Ripjaw Raptors. I think I prefer green-red Sarkhan in general. Ripjaw Raptors, a card that really excels against... Ripjaw really excels against the red aggro matchups, but I think the aggressive matchups are already pretty good for green-red Sarkhan. I really think you need, like, the extra hedge.
It all built up to this.
Well, drawing lands every turn hasn't really been helpful. I guess I'll play around Spell Pierce.
We begin.
Yeah, and when our opponent milled us with Enter the God Eternals, they actually milled 4 lands. So we are actually incredibly unlucky.
I've got it. Watch this.
Yeah, I guess I could have attacked that. The problem is that's bad against removal.
When a storm sea washes the dead ashore,
Looks like it doesn't really matter.
not my fault.
Some games of Magic you just don't really get to do much right. You just kind of die. Alright, they're at 46. I don't think even if we hit the combo, I'd want to click through that. They did. They took the spell off the top of our deck and then we drew another land. Truly, truly appropriate. Lava Coil seems kind of medium here. It was like 40%. They posted the archetype breakdown. They posted the archetype breakdown on Monday, and it was like 40% Esper. I'm gonna trim one of these. It's okay against 3-mana Teferi, but still not amazing. Reed registered Grixis, God bless him. The low turnout of mono red is probably really good for Reed playing Grixis. Yeah, I would bet his build of Grixis is very good against the Esper decks in the format that are really popular. Hangman, we actually played an updated red-white land destruction as the first deck today, and it was really sweet. If you're in the market for blowing up some lands, you're definitely going to want to watch the first video today. Worth taking a peek at. Oh, the story of Magic. Alright, I'm gonna name Ral, I think.
Seek and find.
Perfect. So now if we can hit some more lands here, we can set up the combo kill. We need to be able to get this in play and down tick him so he lives when I cast this for X's 4.
Subject is easily agitated.
For the people who are new here, I just went ahead and timed out the person that went ahead and tried to make the blanket statement that counter spells are bad design. How about this perspective?
Forgotten.
From the viewpoint of game design, I think counter spells are incredibly good design because they are cards that encourage both players to make meaningful decisions while they play a game of Magic.
I'm not gonna lie.
When someone counters a spell, that means they made the decision to pass the turn while holding mana up, and then the opponent got to make the decision of which spell they wanted to sequence into that counter spell first. Compare this to, say, a card like Thought Erasure that serves to only remove gameplay decisions from one of the people playing. So Thought Erasure, for example, is a card that, when it gets cast, you get to look at your opponent's hand and then remove choices from your opponent, whereas counter spells encourage both players to make decisions. Now, that despark there means the Sarkhan's, if they're out of gas potentially here, this Sarkhan down tick could stabilize the board for us.
Finish.
Who are you to call me mad?
In my experience, a lot of the new players who complain about counterspells being cheap or unfair, or in this case, bad game design, are players who are not playing good decks. They're players who are playing decks that, for the most part, are incredibly inefficient and bad and clunky, and they're decks that would be bad and losing to other things, even if counterspells didn't exist, just because they suck from an efficiency standpoint. If your deck is bad against a pile of counterspells, it's probably either a linear combo deck in an Eternal format, or it's just not very good in Standard to begin with.
Come on, listen hard. Watch this.
Also keep in mind that what I'm also not saying, I'm not saying you should feel obligated to like counterspells. I'm just saying that approaching counterspells from the perspective of their bad game design, I think is hot nonsense for the reasons I just gave. Sure, yeah, you're allowed to not like them. You're allowed to say they make you frustrated or they make you feel bad, but I think looking at them from a game design perspective, they are incredible tools from a game design perspective because they're tools that give both players decisions in most games. All right. So I didn't bring in my Goblin Chainwhirler out of the board in that second game like I normally would because my opponent didn't play a hero in the first game. I didn't know quite what they were playing. With the $5 tip. All right. They sent a message to complain about being timed out for posting nonsense, so we just fixed that with a ban. Listen, this is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship, and I'm the dick, okay? That's how this works. What are we doing here? I think it's just Thrashing Brontodon. I want to play the untapped land here because I don't want to tap this because I don't want them to kill this before I can deploy Sarkhan here, I don't think. What does timed out even mean? When you get timed out, it just means you can't post in chat for 10 minutes. You can still watch the stream and do everything else.
This isn't a fight you can win. Here we go.
It's also funny, and this is something players who are inexperienced do a lot of the time too. This person assured me that they know how to play with counterspells in their message because they're mythic. If the only defense of a theory conversation you could have is, well, I won this one time, or well, I'm good at magic, you're not actually engaging in a conversation. I don't give two shits if you top 8'd a major tournament. Like, top 8ing a tournament doesn't automatically make your opinions the truth. Like, we could talk about them and discuss them at length. Like, when I talked about why I felt it was wrong, I gave an articulated description of it. I didn't just say, well, I've got 15 SCG Open top 8s and an Invitational top 8 and a top 16 to Grand Prix one time, and my word is the law. Like, I talked about why I felt the way I do and went into detail about it so we could have an actual discussion surrounding it. Whenever you try and break something down to the point of, well, I did well in this tournament one time, so you should listen to me, it probably means the position you're coming from isn't well articulated or defendable because you're defending it in a very lazy way. Alright, so I got a couple of choices here. I think appeals to authority are not a discussion. That is exactly correct. I think I want to Sarkhan here because it allows me to pressure their planeswalkers, because this is going to threaten to pop off here soon and frag one of my tokens. Now, there's also some appeal to playing Mirror Image on Biogenic Ooze here, so I can get that going, but I think getting my flying threats down this turn is more appealing.
This might be a bad idea.
Rise, my elemental friend.
That's interesting. Alright, this is, now this Mirror Image is gonna be great. Huh. Do I actually... I guess I can play and pop Brontodon and then kill their thing? Do I do that? Do I play and pop Brontodon? What if you're reading... Did you not hear my conversation where I listed, like, 24 of my own accomplishments and said they don't matter, you need to actually have a conversation about things? Like, just saying, hey, I did all of this stuff, so you need to listen to me because all this stuff means that I'm good. That's an appeal to authority, and it doesn't really engage in what's going on or help people learn or talk about the whys. The whys are always the most important. Invictius, thank you very much for the generous sub-gifties. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. I think we're just going to say you ooze, you lose. I'm going to go ahead and tap Teferi here in case they break this later.
I suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
That's a great way to put it. I love this phrase from Huntsper here. Being good gives you a platform. It doesn't validate your argument. It's a great way to put it. Having results helps people get in the door to listen to the topic you're trying to talk about, but it doesn't make the topic you're talking about automatically correct. Is a fantastic way to put it. Double ooze is so dirty. I'm gonna knock this Nissa down to take them off their extra mana.
I will endure.
Yes, Innistrad is the werewolf plane. We'll do Invictius. I'm gonna be sandbagging all of my dealer's choice points until the new set drops to put some brews in. I once won a win-a-box limited event even though they decided to prize split without me knowing amongst the top 8. I have another Ooze I could go get, huh? I also just, like, activate this twice, though. I actually don't have enough green to activate it twice. All right, third Ooze it is. Why didn't the Immortal Sun turn off our Ooze Planeswalker? Asking the real questions. I'm gonna leave the 6/6s back. I'm gonna attack with the 8/8. I think we'd have won this game even if they hadn't Immortal Sun their own Planeswalkers, but it's kind of funny that they did. And this is such a good example of this deck's like mid-range backup plan. Like we do have a 2-card combo in our deck, but we can also just go you ooze, you lose. We ooze, you lose. We ooze, you lose. That's a better, that rolls off the tongue better. I think they drew a Hydrate Crisis. It doesn't matter at this point. Smells like Hydrate Crisis. Oh no! That kind of matters. Are they dead? I think they're dead still. I hope they're dead still. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers. So they block these and then they die. All right. Whew. Oh, I can also bounce it on an uptick. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, so do I want my Chainwhirler against their? Do I want their Chainwhirler against their Paradise Druid deck? I feel like I might. I did, Marty. I'm super excited for the mileage our emote's gonna get. Emote's gonna do some work. I actually have a bunch of, I have standard legal lands now. I kept all my temples because they weren't worth anything. Last time temples were legal and standard, I actually owned paper magic cards. That's how long ago they were last legal. Shock seems good here. Thorn Lieutenant kind of just gets outclassed, so I'm going to go ahead and trim that. Wonder if I want Fiery Cannonade as a way to clean up their stuff. Probably not. I'm going to bring in a couple of negates. They have Teferi, but I can like Shock and Lightning Strike down Teferi, and being able to counter a Mass Manipulation seems very, very important. Also tags things like their Nissa, which is reasonable. Yeah, I know they're cheap. That's why I kept them. If they were worth anything, I would have buy listed them. Huh. So, I think I actually want to do this. We're probably getting Frilled Mystic Tear. Smells like fish. I think I'd rather this get countered than this get countered. And we have the combo here in our hand with these two. We need to get this to X's 4 though. Which is going to be tough to do with Nissa sitting here pumping out dorks. I don't think our opponent's going to be nice enough to Immortal Sun us this game. Well, maybe. Gosh, our Jadelights are really bad at finding lands today. This Jadelight is aggressively trading off with a 3-power attacker here. Defensively trading off. Proactively trading off. It's gonna trade is what I'm saying. Well, they could fart Incubation Druid and smack me for 12 here. Because this makes 2. Loose. Alright. So we're getting attacked for 3 less than we otherwise could be. So they totally have a counterspell here, right? Otherwise they would have attacked with these. No counterspell, huh? What are we doing? So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8, 9 mana. 12. They have 12 mana this turn, potentially. That could be a 10-10 coming down. Now, unfortunately, because we have to finale for X's 4 with the rail down tick, it's very hard to play both our combo pieces in the same turn. Oh, is it just? No, yeah, it's 12, because they get to untap with this, So I assume this is a big Poppy Crisis. El Duban, thank you for the 2-month resub. I really appreciate the support. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic, fantastic Wednesday. Yeah, I think you're just supposed to put sponsored or ad, Marty. If I recall correctly, just like any other sponsored product. We're dead, right? I don't really have a comeback mechanic for you. I've only got 5, 6, 7 mana altogether. And this I need 10 to go off with both of these. I wonder if Paradise Druid is better than Incubation in this deck. I guess Paradise makes mana that's colors we don't already have, which is nice. All right, let's just try and have a good start on the play here. Sure. As of 10 days ago, I'm a father who knew baby poop could smell so bad. So poop never smells good, but newborn poop is the actual worst. It's like very mushy and almost tar-like. Congrats on your new little one, by the way. I think I need to hold up Negate on too, so I'm just gonna play this tapped. My sandwich, thanks, Jeff. Sorry to everybody on the left coast who's currently eating lunch. Whoopsie. Hey, my Jadelight heard us complaining about her never finding lands. God bless. I love when my divination comes with a 2-1. It's my favorite. Huh? No negate. Sweet.
Think you can beat me?
Alright, they're dead in 2. If we find a land, get a lot of reasons to find a land.
Walker, genius inventor. I got it all.
I can no longer stand by and that's more like it.
He doesn't stop us from comboing, right? Because it's all copying, it's not casting. If I recall correctly. Oh, crap. I need to cast Naru. Oh, you're right. I totally forgot. I messed that up. Pretty big deal.
Eureka! Sorry, I just...
So should have just cast Naru there. Because I can't combo them next turn with the Naru in my hand, right? I knew that on some level.
No amount of science is gonna...
That's fine. It all worked out. All worked out.
Let's try this. Only time will tell.
I'm gonna do this and get my scry on here. I'm kind of just looking for another land, right?
Weather's like on Xbox.
Maybe. Play with them 20 cards early, right? Oh man, opponent doesn't want to let us combo. Combo. Wait, what? I've never seen that one before. Anyone? Bueller? I'm gonna restart the client really quick. How we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're out in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. If you're a new viewer, my name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream Magic full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, sometimes even 50 hours a week. If you're someone who enjoys constructed Magic, this is definitely the channel for you. We play a ton of different decks here, and usually we change decks every 60 minutes to 2 hours, so you get a lot of variety in what we play every day. As always, I'd love to give a shout out to my wonderful subs. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their support, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to plug a couple of my sponsors here really quick. These wonderful glasses on my face are premium glasses made by Felix Gray. They have a special technology in their lenses that is blue light filtering. It helps relieve eye strain if you're someone like myself that has long periods of time in front of a computer screen while you work. You can get them with prescription lenses or not by checking out my link bit.ly/Hugo Glasses. InkedGaming.com will help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of artwork that they already have on their website. The Vitamin String Quartet makes unique instrumental string arrangements of everything from Zelda to Zeppelin, and they would love to underscore your next gaming session. You can find them streaming now on services such as Spotify and Apple Music. And of course, I'd like to welcome everyone out there to Hoaglandia. I know there's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for dropping in to spend part of your Wednesday here with us. This is only your 10th game win today. It tells a lot about the quality of the deck so far. This is only our third deck of the day, too. And the first deck we played had we played like a couple of 30-minute matches. The Moto decks ran long this morning. I think we had an almost 2-hour Moto league and then like an hour and a half Moto set. Basically what I'm saying is get off my memes back. They're doing the best they can with the hand they've been dealt in life. The memes are trying. Why you gotta keep them down? Turn 4 Bio Ooze on the play is probably gonna be pretty good. Pretty good. Kinda looks like a mirror match at the moment. Alright, I'm gonna attack with this. If they block, we'll Lava Coil. Going fishing. Didn't take the bait. So if they want to activate Hellkite for value to kill my Paradise Druid, I get to activate my Bio Ooze, which is good value for us. Oh, that's vomit-inducing. That's awkward. Memes aren't fun if they start winning, then they become Civic Reclamation. Truer words have never been spoken. When memes win too much, they become Civic Reclamation. Yep. Oh, I think we might be dead. I'm probably supposed to Bond of Flourishing first here. Trade Z's. Hey, Huckabear. Thank you for the 4-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday.
Bustin' heads is my bread and butter.
Really need to draw a Lightning Strike or a second Lava Coil here to let us 2-for-1 this. Doesn't look good for the home team. pretty dead. Let's get our Kraul Harpooner in the deck. 5 toughness is cheating. Hey, Infernflow, thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. You really don't have good tools for beating a big one. Lava Coil's still good in this matchup, but it isn't amazing against their 5/5, unfortunately. Maybe I bring in Shock as a way to just 2-for-1 our way through. Thorn Lieutenant's kind of mediocre. It doesn't block super profitably. Did we celebrate that Stoneforge Mystic is banned for 8 years as of today? Is that when Modern was created? Because Stoneforge was banned from the start, right? If I recall correctly. One of the OGs on the ban list. Sure. Reed Duke's deck runs 0 Sarkhan. I'd assume that's because Sarkhan's not a very controlling card. If Duke's Grixis build is more controlling. The good news about them playing the Land War Elves build is I don't need to worry about Goblin Chainwhirler out of them, which is nice. Well, we're going to have a fast Biogenic Ooze again. Hopefully they don't have a fast Dragon to match again. That's a big beefcake. Alright, how about a beefcake that goes wide instead of tall? It's a shame we didn't draw land there, because I would have loved to drop this and shock the Paradise Druid.
I'm a crazy beast.
Oh, it's a tough nut.
My wild beasts will bring your comeuppance.
Today's forecast is cloudy with a high chance of me winning.
So Ral's trigger can't hit creatures, but notably it can hit planeswalkers, so we got that going for us. If we rip a finale, we get to kill them next turn. To down tick Ral. If we don't hit a finale, we're gonna down tick Ral and Lava Coil this nullhide off the face of the earth. Now if they have a Collision Colossus here, we're gonna be a little bit sad. Oh, they're just attacking me. Deal, no walks. So we've got 3 draws in 45 cards that kill them. So we're 1 in 15 to combo kill them here. Sure. So Sarkhan, what you've described there, it's 2 threats for the cost of 1. That's what I would describe as a value card. A card that generates 2 cards worth of value out of a single card. What Sarkhan doesn't allow you to do is interact with the board at your discretion. And that's what control decks are generally looking for. They're looking for cards that allow them to control the narrative and choose when things are happening on their terms. Whereas a card like Sarkhan, while it has a lot of board presence, it is essentially 2 threats in 1. Like you said, it doesn't allow them to choose how the board plays out from game to game. Do I want to play this to trade here? I don't think so. They draw a dragon, I'm going to be really sad. Some of my Prime Bucks got applied to a random channel. I had to contact support to get your pennies. Thank you. I appreciate it, Cyanide. This is a good reminder in general. If you are someone who uses Twitch, take 2 minutes and go into your account settings and turn on two-factor authentication. The number of people whose accounts I know have had people break into them, including mine. If I didn't have two-factor authentication on my Twitch, someone would have been able to log into my account. So worth your time to do that. Scammers have found out that there's money to be made in stealing people's Twitch Prime, basically. And let's be honest, it's 2019. Unless your product is made by Wizards of the Coast, it probably supports two-factor authentication. I'm actually pretty surprised that Arena doesn't have two-factor. They've gotten a lot of the technology things. Right with Arena, so the fact that it doesn't support two-factor is kind of a big failing in my opinion. Better hurry up and do my reset before it gets stolen. Thanks for the 8 months, Corrosion. I appreciate the support. Get you around, Kaisen. So, I think the plan here is double block one of these 4/4s. That's a big in. Alright, so now we're saving these to double block this, I think. Oh, I think we're dead. Been digging the Naya Featherless, ran over Semester Predicts last night, and it's delightful. Thanks for the support, 10. I'm glad you're enjoying that. I think we're... No, I left a Lava Coil on top, because I didn't realize that they were going to have this. Yeah, let's try another one. Yeah, if we had the out to draw to the combo, we'd take a draw step, but we just don't have the out with the way we set it up. So leaving the Lava Coil was good for beating the Growth Chamber Guardians, but not a Carnage Train, obviously. Metal Novocation, thank you for the 3rd of the year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. My account shows I have both a tier 1 sub and recently upgraded to a tier 2 sub. Is that really 2 subs or is it just confused? I double checked you. If you just upgraded to a 2, maybe the 1 is still on there from the last time from when you still had that. But if it's been over a month since you've tier 1, or it's been over a month since you upgraded, you might want to double check that. So the problem there is that it's not just dealing with the board. It's like, how do I form a winning position from there? So like they're attacking me for 8. So like if I go to 1 and then I double block the Carnage Tyrant, I suddenly I die to trample because I don't have enough health points anymore. And if I chump block or like trade my Paradise Druids off, I now no longer have enough mana to draw Finale and combo kill them. So I no longer have that avenue to victory. So, like, I could have survived another turn or two, but I was basically had arrived at a treading water point where I could no longer win the game. So rather than sit there and flop around a bit, we'll just cut to the chase and go to the next one. You explain what the combo is. If you down tick Ral for 2 and cast Finale for X is 4, our opponent dies. With Naru Master Wizard and Mirror Image. Let's sit down for the last leg of the stream. The Scrylands are very, very good. You know that incredible amounts of variance we always talk about Magic having? Things like Scrylands greatly reduce the amount of variance in this game. Scrylands from people that I've talked to playing Magic while they were legal, they are widely accepted as one of the best dual lands for the game. I'm honestly surprised it took this long to bring them back, but I'm excited that they finally are. Also, for people who are new and might have been confused by what this temple above the word tilt represents, the temples come into play tapped, so frequently it was tilting. When you're like, I need to draw my 4th land, and you draw a temple, and you're just like, no!
Eureka! Sorry, I just realized something.
Ooh, speaking of combos. Am I going to play the Storm deck today? I am not. You could always know what decks are coming up on the stream by looking at the stream title, and you can tell what decks are likely to be played on future streams by looking at the deck queue that's on my website. Pretty much everything that we play here are viewer-submitted, supported deck lists. The people who keep me employed dictate what we play when we play it. Sweet, and we're gonna get to show the combo here. Our opponent has died. We are a faster combo deck than the Nexus deck. Yep. Yeah, they had to get rid of one of these two, and they did not. Alright, so here's the combo. So we -2 here.
This experiment has shocking.
Then we get to do this for 4. Target you. Target you. Finale resolves. We get the Master Wizard. Master Wizard comes into play. Copies the Finale. Finale gets cast, we get Mirror Image. Mirror Image copies the Master Wizard. We choose to keep the Mirror Image. The trigger happens, it copies Finale. And now, notably, Finale not only gets creatures out of our deck, but also gets cards out of our graveyard. So now we just keep getting back Naru, and keeping the Mirror Image, and copying this, and slowly, click by glorious click. So I can't even, it's not even about APM to do the combo faster. Waiting for the animations to slide through takes longer. Kill the Tamiyo for good measure, right? Alright, Negate's fine here. Reclamation Sage is fine. Tamiyo to dig to our combo a little bit faster seems good. Lava Coil and Lightning Strike don't seem particularly good against their deck, so we can cut those out. Thorn Lieutenant doesn't really do anything. I guess I'll leave in Shock. Hey, Niv Lackason, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Hope your Wednesday is treating you well. Thanks for keeping me around this month with that. Now, you know what combo you're going for is game 2 and 3 become to win? It depends. So, like, it depends on what interactive options my opponent has available to them. So, their deck could have things such as Blink of an Eye or Negate would be the primary cards I would expect them to have against us. So, if they have something like Negate, they might be less inclined to tap out for a Tamiyo like that in the event that I could be comboing them the following turn. And then I had originally thought I might do Jundwhirler still today, but I think that one's gonna get pushed back again one more day. I'm trying to do my best to only work 8-hour days until the new set releases, so wanna try and not go too far over today. This hand's pretty mediocre, right? It doesn't have any accelerants in it. It could potentially miss its 3rd land drop. Shock is kind of mediocre in this matchup, and having Naru in the opener is real bad. The one nod towards maybe keeping this is Reclamation Sage is technically Disruption because their combo plays off of enchantments, but I don't think that's enough to tie the room together. Let's try 6. This is very reasonable. Good to go. Druid into Tamiyo, and then Tamiyo hopefully helps us find some disruption to keep them from comboing us while we get set up. Is there a new Sorin Planeswalker? The new 3-mana blue Planeswalker is really awesome. A 3-mana Planeswalker that ticks to 4 that protects itself while upticking seems really strong. Having its ultimate also effectively says win the game. And having an ultimate that wins you the game on a 3-mana Planeswalker is huge. It's very, very big game. Normally your 3-mana Planeswalker ultimates aren't that good. Maybe I should have bottomed this land here. I kind of wanted to guarantee 4 so I could curve this into this. Might have been wrong. Maybe because I had the Druid, I should have bottomed there to, like, dig for more interactive spells. Negate, Reclamation Sage, things like that.
Like the phases of the moon, life waxes and wanes.
I mean, Nom Carver, like, is there a new 5-mana Planeswalker like that? Because, like, the blue Planeswalker we're talking about, for instance, isn't that template. Name Negate here, I think. The card I would most like to draw. Alright, well, at least the good news is we're not drawing these cards next turn. That's the good news.
We will not fail.
That's very different than the template we've talked about in the past, Nom Carver. So, like, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, is an example of the traditional Planeswalker template that I'm mostly sick of.
I fight with a dragon, sir. Your end has arrived.
Just gonna name Negate again here. That could be good for down-ticking this. This means if Tamiyo survives at 4, we could fetch a Reclamation Sage. Yeah, that's the templating. What Marty said is the 5-mana Planeswalker template we've had for a while, which is plus draw a card, minus removal, ultimate win the game. We've never had that template on a 3-mana walker because it would be much too good. Alright, we might not get another turn. They have 1, 2, and then 5, so they have 7 mana here. If they have an Nexus of Fate, we might not get another turn. So kill me, I guess. Now, if they want to attack and kill my Planeswalker, they're not going to be able to cast Nexus this turn because the dragon gets to gobble one of them up. Yeah, kinda. The symmetry on Liliana's Plus is different though. It's not strict card advantage. It takes a card from them, but it's not really card advantage. It's like trading 1 for 1, which is probably about as good as you should expect for a 3-mana walker, right?
Follow the tracks of the wise.
Alright, so do I get Brontodon here? I think I get Brontodon, because Brontodon protects Tamiyo for a turn from the 3/3s, and then during their second main phase, before this can trigger at their end of turn, we can sack this using the Paradise Druid to kill the Wilderness Reclamation. Now, this does give them a window to be able to blink of an eye to save the Reclamation, but I think overall this is the best line I can have here. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 7, possibly 8 if they untap this forest. So if they want to kill this inside of combat, they got to throw away a 3/3. You see, I clicked on this phase here to put a stop. So this way, it's going to ask me. It's going to give me priority before it goes to the end step. Normally, if you don't click on the second main phase, Arena doesn't automatically give you priority during their second main phase. So you want to make sure you set that stop when you want to kill the Reclamation before they get the trigger. Vimmels, thank you for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Thanks for shipping your Prime back this way again this month. This dragon has Nissa checked, and then the Ooze potentially gums up the board. They do have a Chemist's Insight here, so they're going to have a number of leftovers. So not guaranteed to win, but I feel like we're currently ahead. Oh, Grazer does have Reach. That's a good call. So they have a turn with this. I always forget. This little sloth. Maybe the fact that they have Grazer in their deck means I want Lightning Strike rather than Shock. Actually, I really wish, and this is something Arena doesn't do, I think I left Lightning Strike in my deck, but I genuinely can't remember. So, like, I'm gonna plus her and name Lightning Strike so I could try and kill this Nissa, but I might not have it. Remember when I said this gives them a window to have Blink of an Eye? They had Blink of an Eye. I think my play is still correct, but they get to replay it this turn too, because this is worth 2. Alright, now we could be in trouble. Half of Grazer's value is people forgetting it has Reach. Yep, pretty much. I think there's Lightning Strikes in my deck.
I think you will find my notes helpful.
I think I just boarded out the coils. I can Naru the Shock. We totally can. The list that appears when you plus Tamiyo the cards in your deck. Oh, that's good to know. I wasn't a huge fan of the build of Citadel we played. Felt a lot clunkier than the Explore version. They have a Negate. That's so brutal. Oh, I think we're dead. That was too many bad breaks for us there. Both the Blink to save the Reclamation and then that there to save the Nissa. I think if either of those two things hadn't happened, we might have been okay, but having both of them probably insurmountable.
Makes us true power.
So, part of your assessment that I think is off there, Prey-Waits, is that your planeswalkers that cost less mana are allowed to have weaker effects, right? So like when a 3-mana planeswalker doesn't generate value, when a 3-mana planeswalker doesn't generate value and it trades with a Bedevil, it's still tempo even. Which is ideal. So you don't lose tempo in a situation like that. I want to concede to a Nexus here. Yeah. Yep, and I messed that up. I should have just had Lightning Strike in my deck instead of Shock. So if I'd have boarded correctly, thinking about Grazer there, I likely would have killed their Nissa and won that game. Those are like, you know, the many little things that like add depth and complexity to these best of 3s, right? Like realizing that even though my opponent had the right hits there and it like feels bad that like they had what they needed, if I would have just boarded correctly, they wouldn't have had those outs to have what they need there. Are there any Nexus of Fate decks at the Mythic Invitational? They said they posted the deck list. Anybody know? I forget what the archetype breakdown looked like. 3 of them. Interesting. Jundwhirler got pushed back to tomorrow. We had someone cut the line for Team Morale finale. And I'm trying not to work super long days until the new set releases. This is just not good enough. It's just too slow and clunky even on the play. It doesn't have any disruption in it. Yay! Magic. Well, this is where the magic happens. Low amounts of mono red at the Mythic Championship are probably good for the Nexus players too. Red usually gives that archetype a run for its money. Yeah, five's pretty low. I was expecting red to be more represented. Well, if my opponent has Stone Cold nothing, I get to combo kill them in 2 turns. This is gonna get negated though. Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. Cast a draw 2. Alright, come on. Come on. Mold to 5, kill you on 6. Alright, I'm done. I'm done. I agree, Kestu. I think the fact that there's more eyes on, I think the mulligan rule for Magic has been long overdue for a reassessment, and I think the fact that there's finally this massive number of more eyes on Magic as a product is making them finally do those things that they should have done a while ago. The Diamond 4 Rake Floor was nice and cozy today. We had a lot of fun. This deck, I don't know that I'd make any changes to it, really. I think it's about as close to good as we're going to get. Like I said, I don't think this archetype is by any means super competitive, but I think if you're looking to play Ral with the Finale combo, this shell is definitely the best of the ones we've played. Having the Biogenic Ooze mirror image kind of fallback plan has felt very, very reasonable in my experience, so that's good. Seems good. Yep. All right. Remember, as always, if you want to check out more for myself, be sure to head on over to my website, magicesports.net and jeffhogan.com. You find lots of good archives, both those places. I'm getting all the videos from today, uploading and processing to those places now. If you're someone that heard us talking about Underlords earlier tonight, I streamed a little bit of that last night before I went to bed. You can find those up on my YouTube channel now, and I might poke back out again later tonight. We'll see what the plans are with the wife or not, but if not tonight, probably sometime this weekend at some point. Be sure you have notifications turned on my channel if that's something that you're interested in watching when I stream it. Hey, Bellethor, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. If you prefer to stay here on Twitch, I'm going to find someone else streaming to give a host to. Looks like Nox is live, so I'm going to go ahead and send you his way now. Have a good one, folks.